Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the African Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. Only on this channel and on this program, will bring you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome to your program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambo. As somehow I got a news this morning that devastated me personally, and feel so sad. A young Nigerian police force personnel. In fact, the DPO was once DPO Bori Division in Rivers State, and Ahoda, posted to Ahoda to control these criminals, talking about CP Bako Angbashin. Just to hear this morning that SP, sorry, Bako was killed by these criminals. It's so sad. I feel so terrible because this is a young man that has labored so well to ensure that River State is safe. Let me speak with the youth president of Bori, who also doubles as the coordinating youth president for Kana local government, talking about Honorable Anna Osmi Nadum, to speak to us briefly about SP Bako. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
I know it's a morning period for everybody in River State, not just Bori or Ahoda or his state where he comes from, Nasarawa State, but the whole of Nigeria. Can you tell us briefly, what do you know of SP Bako Angbashi?
Well, to start with, today seems to be a black day for the people of Bori, Kana local government, and Ogoni at large, and in River State. SP Bako, as we all know, is a chief from Northern Bori community, the housing community of Bori. He is a member of the Council of Chiefs and Elders, and the chief of Buri and the good people of Buri, the youth, we decorated him after seeing his good works and they cooperate with us, work with us day and night. We decorated him with an award of Champion of Peace to encourage him to do more. When he was there, we call him late in the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., he doesn't sleep. And we give him maximum cooperation. I am so shocked and surprised at which the people of Ahoda didn't give him the desired cooperation that should enable him to start the work. We have lost a gallant police officer. And I wonder when Nigerians will have such police officer again.
You have this.
The best DPO so far that the best police officer so far we have seen. Day and night is always with us. Where he was serving is a student environment. I tell you that DPO Bako has never failed any of the operation here because of the cooperation he has from the chiefs, he has from the elders, he has from the youth, the women, even the political class. So we are so shocked and surprised. We don't even know what to say than to say Nigerians as a nation should give us our people back. Because instead of taking him from here to go and murder, he would have been here. We don't even know today Ogoni is peaceful, is courtesy of Bako. Ogoni at large, the 4 local governments of Ogoni. Bako, which was the DPO of Bori, was walking from here, walking from Bori, walked to Ketana, Kana, Taeleme, and across Andoni. So how come? In less than how many months today he was transferred, and today we don't hear that our DPO is dead. We are so shocked. We are so shocked, and we are mourning. We are mourning so much.
Yes,
the activities of Boris today, we cancel it all as the result of the bad news we had.
Yeah, it's so sad because we know how he worked so hard to ensure that the people are safe, liberating the communities and making sure that the whole of Ogoni land is safe. It's so sad. We pray that God will accept his soul and that his family will be able to bear this loss. The whole of Nigeria Police Force will bear this loss because he was an asset to the Nigeria Police Force. In fact, last year, last the awards of the Africa Security Watch Awards, he was also honored in faraway Gambia because of what he's doing in Rivers State. It's a sad moment as far as I'm concerned personally, because I followed him so much. Many people had demanded for him to be moved out from Rivers State, but his passion to ensure that the state is safe have just cost his life. It's so sad. Well, we'll have to move on and ensure that things gets back to normal. Thank you for speaking with us on the life of SP Bako Ambashi. Thank you so much. Yes, let's go to the reports we have for you today. The first report will be from the Naval Headquarters, where Elizabeth Tanko witnessed the CNS retreat, 2023 retreat. Sit back as we bring you this report.
In line with the commitment and determination of the Nigerian Navy to stamp out the menace of oil theft and other crimes in the nation's maritime domain, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, conveyed a two-day CNS 2023 retreat with principal staff officers, flag officers commanding, and commanders this Tuesday and Wednesday at the Naval Headquarters in Abuja. The event, which is to evaluate the state of affairs in the Nigerian Navy, was also an opportunity for the Chief of Naval Staff to intimate his officers of his command philosophy.
I conceived the mission, which is to maintain and equip a professional, competent, and ethical naval force while leveraging on all elements of national power for the effective defense of Nigeria's maritime area of interest against all forms of threat in fulfillment of our national security imperatives. To achieve this mission, my command philosophy, which has been communicated, is anchored on leading with integrity, courage, and relentless pursuit for excellence. The philosophy is also in consonance with Nigerian Navy core values. Deriving from this philosophy, my strategic end state is the attainment of a safe and secure maritime environment in Nigeria and our general maritime area of interest, which is the Gulf of Guinea, to enable wealth creation, economic prosperity, as well as national security, growth, and development. This is in line with the Africa Integrated Maritime Strategy and also the Nigerian Maritime Strategy, which was launched last year.
Admiral Ogala also stated that the naval officers are duty-bound to reverse the impression in terms of securing the maritime domain, as he warned that under his watch, there will be zero tolerance for oil theft.
One of the conceptual initiatives which I am eager to listen to you is the strategic plan to tackle oil theft in Nigeria, which is a serious crime that is costing the nation huge sums of money every year. It has become a very serious threat to our national security and development, and this administration is determined to put an end to this menace of oil theft. Recently, there has been a lot of media frenzy on this issue of oil theft and crude oil theft in general. Unfortunately, some of these are intentionally propagated to embarrass the Nigerian Navy and misinform unsuspecting members of the public. We cannot afford to be complacent, therefore, or make the Nigerian Navy vulnerable for exploitation by these mischief makers. By this, I mean the unrelenting efforts of some non-state actors to put all the blames of oil theft squarely on the doors of the Nigerian Navy, which we all know is not true. We are duty-bound to reverse this impression by our actions in terms of securing the maritime domain and stamping out oil theft in Nigeria.
Earlier in his welcome remarks, the Chief of Policy and Plans, Navy, Rear Admiral Joseph Akpan, spoke on the need to reassess the threat environment and operations by the Nigerian Navy personnel.
The retreat will afford us the opportunity as a family to reassess the threat environment and review our operations and activities with a view to identifying gaps that could be addressed for better performance. I am therefore hopeful that our discussions will be incisive, innovative, and thought-provoking. We need to have frank discussions about what is working and what is not, what is allowed and what is not allowed. Only then can we make the necessary changes to ensure that the Navy is the best it can be.
It is expected that at the end of the retreat, these officers would have been re-energized to drive down the command philosophy of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, as the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is poised to ensure that all loopholes in revenue generation for the country is blocked. Elizabeth Tanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
You're welcome back. I will quickly take you to the force headquarters. That is the headquarters of the Nigeria Police Force here in Abuja, where where Obianuju Ape brings us the report of the decoration ceremony that took place recently. Sit back.
The force headquarters of the Nigerian Police Force played host to police officers, dignitaries, families, and friends of recently elevated senior police officers who were being decorated with their enviable rank of Deputy Inspectors General of Police. The decoration was performed by the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, who was assisted by some members of Force Management Team, dignitaries, and family members. Those decorated were DIG Usman Nagogo, DIG Daniel Sokaro Pedro, DIG Ibrahim Sani Kauje, DIG Eddie Ayuba Ikeji.
Just amongst others. He's a member of the National Institute. As what can you see 15th Lieutenant Igori, DPO J. Olakli, Commander 27 Pedro Fasina, Pioneer Area Commander Ijibo. Next to come is DIG Eddie Ayuba, DIG Zone 8 Kakoja, DIG Zone 1, and now Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations at the force headquarters. He likes reading and funny. He's all fathers of Nigeria as a member of all fathers of Nigeria, happily married with children. Congratulations to you, DIG Ede Ayuba Ebeji, DIG Operations. I work under him as a PRO there. Congratulations to you, DIG Daniel Sokari Pedro 9. DIG Sokari. Next to go is DIG Daniel Sokari Pedro.
Before the decoration proper, the IGP Kayode Egbetokun, in his brief address, disclosed that the recent retirement of some DIGs and this elevation is in line with the Nigerian Police Force tradition, and also announced the upgrading of the Force Intelligence Bureau to Force Intelligence Department.
I want to say that this retirement and this elevation follow the practice in the police. It's in line with the tradition for the meritorious service they have put into the service of the police force, for the contributions they made in the force management team, for all the support they have given, and for the commitment they have shown in making sure that they deliver on their mandates as DIGs. Let me also mention here that before this recent elevation of the new DIGs, we recently decorated DIG Abusoni to head the Force Intelligence Bureau. With that appointment, we are giving full effect to the presidential approval to upgrade our Force Intelligence Bureau to the status of department. The Force Management team has also decided that the State Intelligence Bureau being headed presently by CSPs are to be headed by Assistant Commissioners of Police. This is because we are committed to intelligence-led policing, and we are ready to enhance the capacity of our intelligence to drive our operational activities. I want to thank everyone who has come to grace this occasion. I thank our special guest, particularly, and those other senior officers who are seated. I wish you the best of luck. Those of you who are aspiring to be DIGs, and those of you aspiring to senior ranks, I wish you all the best.
With this promotion and decoration, these senior officers becomes members of force management team and supervisors of their various geopolitical zones. DIG Usman Nagogo spoke on behalf of the newly decorated officers.
These sacrifices is well appreciated. Most worthy of mention, the immediate First Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, CFR. A reminiscence of the past, most of all will remember his presence in similar occasions as the Chief Army Staff a little over 2 years ago when we were promoted to Assistant Inspector General of Police. In fact, his goodwill and professional advice have contributed immensely to our behavioral pattern. There's a Roman Sokoto, we say thank you. The Chief Judge of Sokoto State, Mohammed Said Sifa, is also here to rejoice and share his affections with the promotees. The Inspector General of Police, sir, I have the commitment of all the promotees that we will not, I repeat, we will not, God willing, disappoint you, neither do anything that will negate your ambition.
Obiani Joape reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. Yes, we'll quickly take you to Maiduguri in Borno State, where Security Watch had a chat with the theater commander of Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai, in person of Major General Golden Chibisi, where he spoke to us on how security is in that area, and also how they were able to ensure that the National Youth Service Corps orientation camp successfully opened and operated in Maiduguri, Borno State. Sit back as we bring you this interview.
We are the headquarters of Northeast Joint Operation Hadinkai is situated, and you are the man who oversees these operations. For the benefit of most people, some people believe that Operation Hadinkai is just for Borno State, but we tell us that it covers the entire Northeast, and particularly the four states that were strongly affected. Now, tell us, what is the security situation in your area of responsibility?
Well, Patrick, I would say that the security situation is dynamic and steadily progressing towards stability. You know that even in the other parts of Nigeria, that people don't worry so much about security. It's not that the situations there, they record zero security occurrences. So I would say we are steadily progressing towards what many more people will accept as stable, and we will continue the kinetic and non-kinetic actions we are taking to ensure that this is achieved.
Yeah, in fact, driving through the cities of Maiduguri, and even from information we gathered yesterday from some indigenes and visitors who spoke with, they believe that life is bouncing back even much better than some of all those areas that never experienced this. How did you come about this? How is it that Nigerian defense has been able to protect this area?
Well, a lot of work has been done, and the theater has employed a lot of measures. But I would tell you that the injection of equipment, application of lessons learned, and continuation of sound administration to keep the morale of the troops high contributed immensely. And that is in tandem with the command philosophy of our current Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, to transform the Army into a well-trained, equipped and highly motivated force towards achieving its constitutional responsibilities in a joint environment. So I think in a nutshell, that's just about what has contributed towards some of the successes that we have had.
Okay. Yeah. You touched briefly the area I want the next question, which is talking about morale of the men. You know, the task force is made up of majorly the 3 services and the other support like the police and the civil defense and the DSS. How is the morale of the troops you have to fight this?
The morale is quite high, and the troops understand that effort is being made both to improve the equipment holding and their administration. Like I said, lessons were drawn from previous activities, and it's also clear that a multi-stakeholder approach is what is required. So the other components of the theater are all carried along, because obviously we are all involved in this. The Army is a part of it. It has its peculiarity that it brings to the table, and other components also have their peculiarities that they bring to the table. Even by the name of the operation, Hardin K, largely implying unity, convergence of capacities. So that is what have been used to thrust forward the current posture of the force, and we will keep doing that to show to the men that their efforts are yielding results, and it's not in vain at all in any way, and that this is all about our country, and that we have all risen to the call. So their morale is high, and they are all ready to keep surging forward.
Yeah, just recently, I think a few weeks ago, just slightly over a week now, the NYSC was able to reopen their orientation camp. From information, we also gathered that you had also visited the camp and all that. We've seen, in fact, what actually marveled us yesterday was to hear that there are about over 1,000 coppers, you know, where some states that have less challenges don't even have up to that. How were you able to guarantee the safety? How were you able to make sure that this is possible?
Well, that is one of the positive, signs of the trajectory in the security situation I just mentioned earlier. I would just say that we have a multi-agency arrangement put in place. I will not go beyond that, but I can tell you that the core members at this point, they don't need to worry about anything. They should just get on with their camping and have their activities delivered for them. We'll have them covered.
And knowing that these core members are not just people from Borno State, from different parts of the country, did you at any time, you and your men, have fear that would they be able to come, and would they be able to stay here peacefully?
Well, we didn't quite worry about that. Our task was very clear. We knew that the campaign is coming. We knew that some young Nigerians were coming. And so we did a complete appraisal and covered all the aspects of security that we know could be of concern to them. So when they came in and the National Youth Service Corps brought them, we welcomed them and we got down to work.
Specifically, the last 2 years, or slightly more than 2 years, we've noticed that so many thousands, tens, and even approaching hundreds of thousands of these Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists are surrendering and coming out, and maybe that could have also encouraged this what you just talked about, and that period you have had successive.
Welcome back. For time, we won't be able to conclude this interview, but you saw it there. The NYSC coppers, they're going through the orientations program, and I think they just completed yesterday, and we will redeploy where for their place of primary assignment. Yes, if you have enjoyed watching us, follow us on all our social media platforms and send your questions and views to us so that we can bring it up to those who will act on them. Until we come your way again next week, I say thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.